Well, let me thank everybody for taking the time to have asked questions on Facebook and Twitter, and this is an opportunity. I'll quickly go through some of the questions that I received, and one of the themes that I heard over and over again, I think was captured by Corinne Magoon, who Facebooked us and said, when will the steady increase of tuition for the California universities stop? And what, if anything, can we do as college students to stop those cuts and to stop these increases? I mean, of course, that's the general theme, isn't it? The frustration and the anger and the inability to reconcile what is happening up here in Sacramento. Here are the facts. The University of California system just suffered $500 million of cuts. There are $1.4 billion of higher education cuts that were just approved by the legislature and signed by the governor. $500 million to the UC system, $500 million to the California State University system, and $400 million to the community college system. What they chose to do, and they includes me, since I'm a member of the UC Board of Regents, I'm also on the CSU Board of Trustees, is to avoid any tuition increases associated with this new $500 million cut. The reason for the cuts is the $26.6 billion overall budget shortfall. The Governor Brown, decided to spare an all cuts budget, but committed to doing half of the $26.6 billion in cuts, the other half in a tax increase or an extension of the existing taxes that were approved a number of years ago by Governor Schwarzenegger in the legislature. The reason I bring that up, and it's an incredibly important reason, is it goes to the second part of the question: when will it stop and what can we do about it? These tuition increases won't stop for the moment they have, even though last year they increased them. The cuts won't stop if we do not get support from 4 Republicans to put a tax measure on the ballot so that we can avoid an all cuts budget. That tax measure would extend, again, the taxes, temporary taxes that Governor Schwarzenegger and the Democratic legislature supported a number of years ago that are due to expire on June 30th of this year. It doesn't look like we'll get an election on the ballot before June, or at least in front of the voters before June. But we hope to get a special election on the ballot later in the year. The question is, if we don't, and if we have an all cuts budget, how big will the next round of cuts be at the UC system, the CSU and community college systems? And Governor Brown has made it clear that he thinks people should look to expect a doubling of the cuts that just took effect. So that would mean another $500 million in cuts at UC, another $500 million at the CSU, and some have actually argued the cuts at community college would be north of $400 million, as high as $800 million. This is unacceptable. This cannot happen. We have got to make sure that we change this course and we get this ballot initiative in front of you and in front of others. And what you can do is call your legislative representatives. I know it sounds trite, or email them, text them, do petitions with your friends and family and your students, and just make your voice known that enough's enough. We can't absorb these cuts. We can't absorb these tuition increases. We're pricing out the middle class. We're pricing out working families. We're going to destroy the golden goose that is the brightest spot in California's economy, and that's its higher education system. The president says this: you want to out-compete, you've got to out-educate. How do you out-educate when you're denying people access to school because you're pricing them out of the market, or you're reducing the ability and availability of courses and classes, or reducing the quality of those courses and classes? So the question is a good one. Sorry to be so long-winded, but I'm intensely passionate about this and grateful that you care about it. And now we need you to actually exercise that passion by letting folks know in Sacramento we need 4 Republicans. Get this tax package in front of the voters and let the voters decide the fate and future of higher education.